So this is my new journal. I've gone for the Scribbles That Matter journal again, and I've gone for white this time. Not 100% sure if I'm happy with the white or not, but that's what I've gone for this time. It's just the same as the Scribbles That Matter, only white, and that the cover is like a leather cover or leather effect. Okay, so inside I have put on my index page my future log, a space for collections and weeklies, and I'm going to show you what I have set up. So as I said before, I plan to carry this spread from my last journal into this one, and I have done. I really like this spread. I think it looks really neat and it's easy to set up and maintain. So that's what I've done. I've started from April, which is this month. My last journal lasted 8 months. I've set up 12 months in my future log in this journal, just so that I've got a little bit of extra space to write things in before I move across to my next journal. So I've got my months forward to a page, and I've set it up as far as March. So that didn't take long at all. I set that up in an evening, and I've already written in some birthdays and things and moved across anything that I had in my old journal into the new one. So I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. I've then left some space for some collections, so I'm going to be doing some in there. Things like my self-care spread that I did in my last one, maybe cleaning logs, or what else did I do? My meal planning, things like that. If that's something that you would like to see a video on, some of the spreads that I do, let me know, because I'll do that next, because I'm planning to fill these out. So I've left quite a lot of pages blank, and then I've just written 7 to 23 collections, so I've got loads of room to add them there. Then we start with my weeklies. So what I did was used the spread that I showed you before as like a template, and then what I did was I used this plastic ruler. This came with an old journal actually, and all I did was I counted out the first time where I wanted everything to be positioned, and then after that I just drew on the ruler and marked some points, which you'll see here, to show me where things were to be marked, and then I marked out where I wanted to position everything. So what I've done is I've done these in the middle. I've kept it really plain. As you can see, I've put the month, and then I've put what week of the year it is. I had to Google to find out this because I had no idea. And then I've put just a letter for the days of the week and a number. Now I use an erasable pen, so it means that I can change this up. I've got the template here in place, but I can change it up, and if I decide to have a creative week, I can make this more creative or less. And then again, I've left these bits blank. So before, in the other template that I did, I had this as tasks, and I had this bit as meal plan and things. But I've left it blank so that each week I can decide what I want to use it for. So I could use it to track what videos I'm going to put up on YouTube. I could do a tracker here, whatever I want, but I've got the main raw bones in place that I can just add to as I wish. But I can still add appointments in. So if I have something on for next week, for example, I can just write it in, and I don't need to worry about setting up. So what I've done is I've set up quite a lot of weeks in advance, so that if I have something come up, I can write it in, like I say. And this took no time at all, especially because I set up this little sort of template on my ruler. I would definitely recommend that. It's really easy to set up. In fact, I'm going to show you in a minute how I did it. And I've set up as far as June. Now, this is the setup that I really like. I like it to look like this. If you prefer it all on one page, if you prefer them to be more vertical than horizontal, whatever you prefer, find out what works for you and what you like to look at, because you're only going to use something if you enjoy using it and you like how it appears. So find something that you like, but set it up so that it's easy enough that you can replicate it every week or a day, or whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're doing a daily one or a weekly one or whatever. I prefer weekly. I'd actually even thought about moving to a diary because I thought it might be easier, but when I looked at diaries, I discovered that there was none that kind of met my needs as closely as a bullet journal, because you can really tailor that to your own needs, can't you? But I like to have all the weekly set up in advance, so that's what I've done. Now I'm going to show you quickly how I set it up, just to show you how quick and easy it is. So here I've got week 23 in June, so I'll just move on to the next one. Once you have set one up, you can see, you might not be able to see on camera, but you can see the reflection through of where it goes, so that makes things a lot easier. Like I say, I use this erasable pen. It's the Friction one. I've got two different ones. This one is the Friction Ball Clicker 07, it says, and I've also got this one, which is the Friction Point and this one is 0.5. It's got a much finer tip, and that one's good too, but I'm going to use this one this time. So I've got it marked out on my ruler here, so all I'm going to do is fill it out. And the spacings and things are completely up to you. This is just what I felt worked for me, for sizing and spacing and the rest. There we go. Now, the week before, so it's still going to be June, so I'm just going to put in June. And if the week before it was week 23, this will be week 24. And then put in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh, I've done too many. So that's the great thing about the erasable pen. I can just take that out. Okay, so then we ended on the 16th, so this will be the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then if someone was to say to me that they would, like say I was to get invited to something on the 18th of June, then I can actually put it straight into my weekly planner. I don't need to put it into my future log if I don't want to. I can just put it straight into here. Whereas before, if I didn't have these set up, I would have had to put it in here, and then when June came round, I would have to move it across. And if I hadn't had time to make up my weekly spreads in June, then it wouldn't have got moved across, obviously. So I like the fact that it's all set up, ready to go. And the great thing about having the erasable pen is I can decide at the time what I want to do with this to personalise it to me. So say for example, I'll just put in a few pretend appointments. So we'll have a play date, 9 AM say, and let me see, we'll put gym class, just put a couple of things. So when it comes round to this time, the week of week 24 of the 17th of June, and I decide I'd like to make this a little bit nicer looking, then what I can do is rub things out and make it how I want. So I'm going to just personalise this a little bit, just to give you a bit of an idea of some of the things you could do. So I'm going to do here like a big M. Let's see what we're going to do here. So that's just one example of something that you could do to make it a little bit different. Obviously you could add colour, you could add drawings, whatever you want to do. You could do a tracker here. Let's put something here just to give you a bit of an example of some more things we could do. So as you can see, I've added 2 boxes at the side. I've done goals for the week where I can put in some things that I want to achieve that week. And here I've put gratitude. I've put the first letter of each day of the week there. And then we can turn this round and we can write in something that we're grateful for each day. What I might do nearer the time is take like a really pale, like my pale grey Tombow, and just highlight every second line just to keep it separate and make it really easy to write on. But that's just an example of how you could personalise it and make it a little bit more pretty. So hopefully you'll find this video helpful if you are struggling to find the time to fill out your bullet journal, or maybe you haven't even got started because you just feel overwhelmed by it. This is an example of how you can do a really simple bullet journal, and from week to week or month to month you can elaborate on your design if that's something you choose to do, but you can also just keep it really simple and make it work for you. It's very practical. I love using the bullet journal because I can set it up for me and how I want it to look. Like I say, that is a layout that works for me, but if you prefer a different layout, then you can very simply set that up as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more similar. If you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you'd subscribe and stick around, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more bullet journaling videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! It's